What's up, Hokie fans? This is Coach Mike Holmes, contributor to the Sons of Saturday, coming to you with this week's Hokie hitter. The Virginia Tech Hokies beat the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets 21-6 this past weekend on homecoming in Blacksburg. The Hokies started out very slow in this game, weren't really very efficient on offense. Defense played pretty well, pretty stout throughout the game. Special teams did its thing. Peter Moore had an outstanding game punting the ball. But what we're going to look at today are two plays that happened as a part of a much larger sequence that really changed the game as far as the Hokies are concerned in terms of momentum. We got a massive defensive stop. That's one of the plays we're going to talk about. And then we're going to talk about the continued creativity of Tyler Bowen and the offensive staff, that even in a game where we weren't very efficient, we weren't run blocking real well, we weren't executing very well in all facets, whether it's the passing game or the running game, we were still able to be a little creative. We were still able to have some gadget plays and some spark plays that really started to change the tide of the game in the Hokies' favor. So let's take a look at the very first play. This is going to take place with about 36 seconds or so left in the first quarter, and it's a 3rd down and 16. So right now at this point, the Hokies have done a pretty good job of slowing down the Georgia Tech attack. Georgia Tech opening drive, they went down the field. We held them to a field goal. Second drive, we got a 3 and out. But the offense had been kind of sputtering. Hadn't really done much. We needed some type of big play, some type of spark to really ignite things on the momentum side for this 12 o'clock start in Blacksburg for the Virginia Tech sideline. So this play, 3rd and 16. This is a phenomenal individual effort by Keontae Jenkins, and we're talk about what he sees in this play, and it really begin to turn the tide, because it's right after this drive and this stop that we get right here. Georgia Tech punts the ball back to us, and our second play we're going to talk about is the touchdown play on this drive, with drones hitting Gosnell for the touchdown. We're going to talk about some really creative and inventive things that we saw on that particular play. So let's take a look at this play. So now if you look at my board here, you'll notice that Georgia Tech is here in the maroon. This particular play gave us a couple of indicators right off the bat what they were going to do. So remember the down and distance. It is 3rd and 16. Okay, there's not very many plays that you can draw up from an offensive coordinator perspective for a 3rd and 16 play. A lot of times you'll see either a screen play, you'll see a draw, or they'll line up 4 wide, kind of like they do here, and they're just going to heave it downfield and hope for the best because they plan on punting. You know, there's not really very many plays that you can dial up that you know exactly I'm going to be able to get the first down on this 3rd and 16 play. So if you'll notice, though, on this particular play, and I really don't have them drawn in here, so I'll kind of draw them in here. So on this particular play, the numbers on the field, okay, are wide, right? There you have the numbers, then you have the hashes, then you got the middle of the field, right? Normally, when an offensive team sets its receivers on the outside of the numbers, like Georgia Tech does here on this particular play, it is an indicator to the defensive personnel, the defensive staff, they're planning on running the football. Pretty straightforward, because you're outside the numbers, you're pretty much, you're telling the defensive backs, hey, we're giving you a 3rd defender over here with the sideline. It's going to be very easy to cover you because you're cutting the space down. Now, what's that doing? It's taking 4 defenders outside of the play altogether. So right now, you're left with 6 in the box, 1 high safety. So right now, Virginia Tech is showing APR, Aeneas Peebles, Burgos, Jaden Keller, Woodson, Keontae Jenkins. We're kind of in a 3-3 stack look, and we call it a stack because the linebackers are stacked over top of the defensive linemen. We're playing cover 1 on the outside, which is man coverage on the outside with a free safety high. So on this particular play, what we're doing is we're going to spread across the field. So you notice we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys across the field altogether. If you include Strong and Jalen Jones over here, we have 5 across, trying to take away anything over the middle. And we have two corners on the outside that are in press man, and we have a safety over here to catch anybody who might leak free. All right. So on this particular play, we're either thinking they're going to either try to go deep or they're going to run it. Some type of maybe draw, maybe a quarterback sneak, maybe they motion the back out to get a linebacker out, and now you're 5-on-5 with a quarterback run. A lot of different things you can do in this particular setup. On this particular play, however, what they decide to do is basically open up and run a little off tackle play, zone stretch play to Mr. Haynes over here, and he's going to try to just get what he can get. Now, on this particular play, a couple things happen. Okay, so Burgos is going to rush upfield, and as he rushes upfield, the tackle kind of runs with him. Okay, this leaves this guard coming up here to block Keller. We have the center taking on Peebles one-on-one. He's going to get help from his backside, his left guard right over here, and the backside tackle is going to go right up here to Caleb Woodson. Now, if you notice, just based on this look, because Burgos is taking himself out of the play by rushing upfield, the tackle is just taking him where he wants to go. APR can't chase the play because he's got to play contain on the backside in case the quarterback boots around or anything else like that. We have to make sure to play that contain on the back end. So really, the only guy that can make the play right now is Keanu Jenkins. So when he gets this handoff, he's going to try to take it wide outside the tackle box and try to get into that open space because we're kind of moving everybody out of the way. Keanu Jenkins does an outstanding job on this play. As soon as he sees the line all step to his left, Jenkins opens his hips and starts moving inside the box. When he sees the quarterback then open up that direction to hand off the ball, because they're lined up in the pistol, so the quarterback is going to give himself away early about which direction he's going. You can't really hide the ball at this point, so he's opening up, giving this handoff. So as soon as he sees that, he's able to find gaps in this. Peebles is double teamed. He's getting pushed back out of the way. Jenkins fires through the hole, blows up the play. Now, Virginia Tech has had problems with run fits for almost the entirety of the Brent Pry era on defense. This is a great example of what we're talking about in this run fit game. Okay, so you had even though you had everybody being taken care of, offensive line for Georgia Tech did a really good job of executing their blocking on this play. They didn't account for the one here. We had one too many for him to block, and he was able to come through and make that play. That's something where we either in past weeks maybe didn't have the confidence in our assignment or know exactly what we were doing to be able to go in there and blow that play up for a tackle for loss behind the line of scrimmage. In this case, we had confidence in the scheme, we had confidence in the assignment, and that means that they could play fast without really having to think too much. They can just read and react and go out there and be athletes and football players. Keanu Jenkins does a phenomenal job of making that tackle in the backfield. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the next play, which is actually going to be when after Georgia Tech punts, the Hokies get control of the football, and they're kind of plodding downfield. We get a couple of runs. We run a little reverse to Aiden Green. Benji Gosnell steps up. He runs a little delayed block action and runs a little drag across the field. Drones hits him in stride for a big chunk of yards. And so now, as soon as we run that play, okay, it is a very quick hustle to the line. So it makes me believe that we called when we were in the huddle, we're on the line, we had 2 plays in a row called for this particular drive. We called these 2 plays in a row because pretty much as soon as the ball was set to play, we were lined up and ready to go and snap the ball. And this is all done to catch Georgia Tech off guard. So as soon as Gosnell gets tackled, hands the ball to the official, they go to get it spot because it is first down, 1st and 10. And this is with about 13 and a half minutes or so left in the second quarter. We line up in this formation. So here's the ball, and this is going to be 61 here. We're going to have 68 and 82. Then we're going to have 75, Bob Schick. We're going to have Parker Clements, and then Johnny Garrett, 79. Okay, over here on this side, we're going to have Stephen Gosnell, and then we're also going to have Jalen Lane over here. And over here on this side, we have Daquan Felton, number 9, and then we have number 0, Ali Jennings, over here on this side. And they're kind of stacked a little bit right here. Okay. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, this is why we lined up this way. Okay. So, normally if you're looking at this offensive alignment, okay, and you're looking at all these numbers going across the field, you don't really see, if you're the defensive lineman, you're not really necessarily paying attention. You're trying to figure out quickly because you're trying to get on the ball. You're looking for essentially the middle of the line. So at this point right here, I'm going to move this number right here. So at this point, the way the defensive line sets up, you're going to have a 6-eye right here in the middle. You're going to have a 1 technique who's going to kind of split the difference here. And you're going to have a 4-eye technique who lines up inside shade of the tight end. Okay. Over here on the outside, you're going to have kind of a corner and a nickel look that's right over top of 83. You're going to have another corner. You're going to have strong safety walk down here over top of this twins look. You have 2 backers that are going to be sitting in the middle of the field, and you got 1 safety right here. Okay. So now, if you look at this, I'm sorry, we have another stand-up 5 technique over here on this side. Now, if you look at this defensive alignment, it's going to look a little off. It's going to look a little wrong. It's because at this point, they think, because they look at Stephen Gosnell, they think that 75, Bob Schick, is the center. So they're lining up as if Bob Schick is the center, and they're not really necessarily accounting for the tackle over that we have slid in here. So by moving Parker Clements over and putting Benji Gosnell over at the right tackle spot, they believe that 79 here, because again, everything's moving fast, it's kind of jumbled. 79 is actually the tight end. So they have the safety is actually lined up over top of Johnny Garrett versus being lined up over Benji Gosnell. So it's a complete misalignment based on quick personnel shifts, and moving fast, being very well prepared on the offensive side, not giving the defense any time to rest. So when this ball is snapped, you got Kyron Drones back here. It's an empty set. When Kyron Drones is back here, as soon as he snaps the ball, we're going to block and bubble screen out. We're going to block up here, and we're going to turn around and quick screen right here. So that keeps these 2 guys on each side, these 2 secondary guys for Georgia Tech. It keeps them locked down. They have to try to protect against the bubble screen. Okay, this safety steps up. These blockers, Johnny Garrett actually kind of steps and folds back around and allows this block to happen here. We kind of reach over here with Moore, and then his brother comes around and kind of helps out on this 4-eye. So we get a good double team right here. Now, because Drones is such a threat with his feet, this defensive end, instead of rushing way upfield or even chipping on this tight end, he stays and acts like a spy in case Drones decides to take off and run. These 2 linebackers step up here in the middle. They're thinking it's going to be a quarterback draw. And so they're stepping up to prevent the quarterback draw. And Benji Gosnell is able to get a free open, clean release upfield. It's about the easiest throw and easiest catch you could possibly make on this particular play. And it all starts with being able to move quick, great communication from the coaches to the sideline, from Drones to the rest of the players in the huddle, getting lined up quickly, properly, making sure our alignment's exactly right where it needs to be, not acting like we're trying to do something funky. We're just going out there and doing what we're supposed to do and making it look real, and then getting them out of their alignment the way they want to be. I guarantee if we had a timeout or we took our time, defensive coaches will be hollering in the linebackers' headsets, hey, 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 this guy's uncovered, he's uncovered, he's uncovered. And they can go make adjustments. But because we moved really quickly, we got up under the ball, snapped it real quick, easy throw, easy catch, touchdown Hokies. And that was a big play. Even though at that point it was only 6-3, we kicked the extra point 7-3. That's all we needed. We could have not scored another point and still won the ball game. So this ended up being the game-winning score. But because we were very efficient on offense, because we were able to go out and execute some trick plays with the reverse a couple plays earlier, being able to throw the ball downfield, being able to run the ball with Bashal Tootin a little bit on the outside. These were all things that even on a day where we weren't at our best and we weren't our sharpest, the Hokies were able to go out there and put enough points on the board to come out with a convincing win. Hey, in this year with college football, as crazy as it is, if you can win, you can cover, and you can look halfway decent while doing it. And even though we weren't great, we were still okay. We did everything we needed to do to go win that ball game. Once again, thank you for tuning in to the Hokie Hitter. I'm Coach Mike Holmes. Don't forget to follow the Sons of Saturday on all the social media platforms. Don't forget to follow me at Hokie Hitter for these videos, in addition to the 10-minute tailgates, which will come out every week. Make sure also to like the video, leave a comment. Let me know if there's something that you like, something that you don't like. And again, go to the Sons of Saturday website, sonsofsaturday.com, and click on the article that accompanies this video, and you'll be able to go see the video, the live clips of the plays that we're talking about here. Unfortunately, YouTube restricts us from being able to show these on these videos. So maybe we can get some clearance in the future and we can make that happen. But until next time, as always, go Hokies.